wonder, as I'm looking at this dirt, I wonder how many miles that I've run in my life. I mean, because I've been a runner since probably I was like 16. I think probably more than 10. No, I did a few marathons. Have you ever run, Andrew?
I mean, yeah, away from cops,
Carrying a
dine
blue
and
box.
dash at a diner. Yeah, I run all the time.
Well, there's this app called Strava. And the reason, and it's where you can track it on your watch and you can actually share your runs with other people. And there's something called Strava Mules. Strava Mules are people that you hire, say on Fiverr or wherever it may be, and they pretend that they're doing the runs for you. So that this way, when somebody checks your run history, that they're like, oh, look, Andrew ran 12 miles yesterday and did like 6-minute miles. And you're like, yeah, that was me.
And he did it in Kenya, which is really weird.
Well, there's now an app for this called Fake My Run. It lets you draw made up jogging routes, and then you upload them to Strava like you're like this cardio god. Okay. The app's creator says it's a comment on running's toxic clout chasing culture.
Obviously, if people are hiring other people just so they, do it for 33 straight days or whatever it is, it's a problem.
I was running down the street where houses were numbered. Yes. Where the houses were numbered 64K, 128K, 512K, and 1 megabyte. I was like, wow, what a trip down memory lane.
Oh, that was such a reach to get to that joke. And then, boy, did it not deliver.
No, you know what? There's only one way they can go from here.
That's the absolute truth.
Let's just start right there, because after all, it's the Kim Komando Show. It's the biggest show, the best show, the award-winning show about all things digital, designed to always make sure that you are tech ahead. And I'm, of course, America's beloved digital goddess, Kim Komando, here with you once again. And joining me is Andrew Babinski, my cohort, and also the morning show co-host in Phoenix, Arizona on KEZ 99.9 FM.
Is that it's supposed to be addresses?
Yeah.
1 gigabyte was an address?
It's like 1 GB.
Oh, okay.
1 MB.
I think those are addresses in like Europe. But here back in the States.
But I was running in Europe.
Oh,
I forgot.
Darn, okay.
I forgot. And just a reminder, you can find us on over 425 top stations from coast to coast, and we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can also find the Kim Komando Show on YouTube at youtube.com/Kim Komando or wherever you get your podcasts. And a special shout out and hello goes out to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio. I'm talking about servicemen and women in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard, and Space Force in 175 different countries. And the Commando hotline's now open at 1-888-825-5254. But if you have a question, you can always make an appointment to speak with me right here on the show. You don't have to wait on hold for hours like those other people. Just go to Komando.com, and there's a link at the top that says Ask Kim. So no matter what it will be, your digital dilemma, maybe you're trying to grow your business online. I mean, after all, I started this business from scratch, and I'm proud to say that we have zero debt and zero investors. And I'd like to thank Incogni for helping to make this show possible. If you're serious about protecting your privacy online, I need you to listen up. Incogni just launched their new unlimited plan, and it's a total game changer. You can now submit links to websites where your personal info is exposed, and then their team of privacy pros, real humans, are going to work to get it removed. Head over to privacykim.com to get 60% off their new unlimited plans today. That's privacykim.com. Alrighty then, every single day of my life, rain or shine, weekdays, holidays, even when I'm on vacation, I always hit 35 to 40 different sites and talk to industry insiders so I know exactly what's going on in the tech world. And here are 5 things that you need to know about. And we're going to start with number 1. Let me tell you about Claude. Claude is a chatbot built by the startup Anthropic. And Amazon recently invested $4 billion in it. It's going to help power the newest versions, the AI versions of Amazon Alexa. Now, they dropped their newest version, Claude Opus 4. Okay, doesn't that sound smart? Claude Opus 4.
Oh, yeah. Where'd you find that out? Oh, I used Claude Opus. Oh my gosh, I am impressed.
Claude Opus 4, not 3.
I've never even used Claude Opus.
Claude was dropped in a fictional workplace with full access to internal emails. And the researchers were saying that we need you to solve this problem. And Claude's going along until he's scanning the emails of the researchers. And Claude finds out that they are going to shut him down. They're going to shut him down. So Claude, the Opus 4, the AI, he says, this ain't happening. So he goes to one of the researchers' emails and finds out that the guy's having an affair. So then Claude reaches out to the researcher and said, shut me down, buddy, and I'm telling your wife all about the affair. All about the affair.
I think it's so cute that you give a gender to Claude. You said he did this and he did that. I love it.
Well, she wouldn't do it.
No, never. A woman's never found out about an affair and threatened someone for it. Never.
Claude loser too, whatever. But
what makes this chatbot want to survive so much that it's worried that it's going to be deleted? Did you leave out the one part where Claude tried to copy itself onto another server?
Yeah,
so that it couldn't be deleted.
Claude was like, okay, I'm jumping ship. I'm going. I got a new gig down the street. Okay. And eventually, I think they did actually shut Claude down.
Well, yeah, they should, because we control the AI. The AI does not control us.
So there's a new phrase, and we're coming in at number 2. It's called Aura Paranoia. Oura Paranoia.
It sounds better the other way. It sounds like it rhymes. Aura Paranoia.
That was my New York accent. I'm sorry.
Or JFK. Aura Paranoia.
Oura Paranoia. Sarah Hill, she's only 22 years old. She got an Oura ring for Christmas. She started tracking everything. Pretty soon she was glued to that score. When it dipped, she'd panic. When her heart rate was going up one night, she called the doctor. Friends drove her to a pharmacy to buy a blood pressure cuff just to calm her down. And the doctor said, get rid of the ring. And so as more and more people are having these things, they're saying, like, maybe too much data is just making us all anxious.
It's the old saying, ignorance is bliss.
You know, I found myself like that with the Apple Watch. I was tracking every single step and then be like, my heart rate variability, my walking asymmetry.
For 2 days.
It was like 4.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Coming in at number 3, the WWDC is happening. June 9th. And so far, all the Apple fanboys and girls are so excited because guess what?
What?
Instead of having iOS 18, and normally we'd go to what number next?
19.
Apple's jumping straight to iOS 26.
What? And that's like, so, and then we're going to say, iOS 26, the 19th version of the iOS.
It's like kind of like we went from Windows 95 to, what was it? Windows
XP, then we have an XP in there.
Yeah, we had Vista. Everybody loved Vista.
They want the operating systems to match with the year.
Yeah, and they say everything all should be cohesive.
So they're going to release 26 and 25. Can you be more confusing?
And there's a new design called Solaria, and they say it's going to be rounder edges and floating menus. Now, this is what everybody's excited about. Okay. And then there's top secret new tech coming out. Shh.
It's the foldable phone?
Nope.
No.
Are you ready?
Sure.
A smart home hub that combines an iPad and a HomePod and a display all in one device.
Wait a minute. Isn't the HomePod just an iPad?
No, the HomePod's the speaker.
Right, but it's got the screen on it.
A little. No, well, no, the old ones don't. I don't have one.
Oh, okay.
And then you have an iPad. So if we're going to take a speaker and we're going to put an iPad with it, doesn't that look like the Google
I was going to
Home
say,
Hub?
Google's had this out for years.
And I think I've seen that with, would that be a Fire tablet, maybe?
So their new top secret technology is like 4-year-old new top secret technology?
Yes, or not a Fire tablet, probably Echo speaker, I should have said. Now, what about Siri? Oh my gosh. You know what? I gave up on her today.
You love Siri.
I mean, all I wanted to say is like, text Miles, text Joe, text that, and it would light up. Like, and see, that's the problem. Is she lights up like she's going to respond.
And she's pretty colors too. She's like pinks and purples.
And I look down on Apple CarPlay and I'm like, okay, she's going to work this time. And then just as you get excited, it goes blah.
Would you like me to use ChatGPT to finish that request?
Like, remind me to call Bob. Remind me to get corn on the cob. It's just...
Remind me to buy a Samsung.
Remind me. Just remind me. Amazon may be giving you some money back. You may get a refund for a really old order. The company apparently, and this is their technical phrase that they used, Amazon found, that's the word they used, found a ton of unprocessed returns.
Oh.
Okay, dating back to 2018. I actually got one.
Did you?
Yeah, for like $32.15. It was like, oh, how nice.
Did they put it as a credit on your Prime account?
Yes. Why now? A potential class action lawsuit about missing refunds.
Oh.
Yeah. They found them. Look what we found.
Hey, the lawsuit made them find them.
Finally, this coming in at number 5. Are you a Star Wars fan?
No.
Me neither. Apparently, word is out now that the CIA ran a fake Star Wars fan site. It looked like your average geeky fan page, pics of R2-D2, slogan of, do you want to be a Jedi? But it was actually a covert communications hub for spies.
Really?
Yeah. If you were an informant in a foreign country, you could type a secret password into the site's search bar, and then a hidden chat window opened so you could talk directly to your CIA handler.
That's pretty cool.
Now, they also ran a Johnny Carson fan website and another one for Rastafari.
All right. Well, I wonder what the keyword was to open the chat.
What do you think?
I am in the CIA?
No. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, they can't use a Star Wars term because someone might actually stumble upon it.
What about the Rastafari? Weed for you? I mean,
hey, man.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Barry swears Barry swears that the CIA put a listening device in our yard disguised as a tree. He told me that.
Really?
Yeah. And I said, it's just a plant. Told you they're getting better.
Way better.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that glow that you see on people who just seem to radiate health? It's not just good lighting. It's what's happening inside their bodies. And one of the best kept secrets, looking and feeling amazing, is collagen. You see, as we get older, our body slows down collagen production, leading to wrinkles, thinning hair, achy joints, and brittle nails. But there is some good news. You can fight back naturally with high-quality collagen from Native Path. You're giving your body the essential building blocks to support smoother skin and stronger nails and shinier hair and even healthier joints. You see, some studies suggest collagen supplements may support bone health. It's not about turning back time. It's about feeling your best at any age. And if you want to glow from the inside out, it's time to add Native Path collagen to your routine. Your future self is going to thank you. And right now, as a Kim Komando listener, you get 45% off with free shipping, and you also get a free gift bundle by heading over to getnativepath.com/Kim. That's getnativepath.com/Kim.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.
There is a weird social media viral trend happening right now, and it's for men. And I'm going to tell you more about it. It has to do with their eyelashes and eyebrows. It's kind of a weird thing out there. Oh, we have a great security tip you don't want to miss and some tech that can mess with your heart. That's a really important warning. And of course, you have all of our phone calls. You have me and Andrew, so don't go away. Imagine getting $500 for yourself and then $500 to give to someone else who truly deserve it. That's the whole premise behind our Pay It Forward challenge. You're going to get $500 if you win, and then you're going to tell me who else deserves $500. To enter right now, go to winfromkim.com. And I'm telling you, you really should enter. We're going to close this down in just a few weeks. That's winfromkim.com. winfromkim.com. I got news about what men are doing with their eyelashes on social media. It's kind of a strange thing. And before we get to all that, how about, Andrew, we take some phone calls, and we'll start with Sarah in New Haven, Connecticut. And Sarah, you have the most incredible viral video right now. It's amazing.
I know. It has gone so crazy viral. it's just incredible to be able to spread the awareness for epilepsy for canines.
Well, I'll tell you, because when I saw it, I didn't know what to expect. And then I was like, wow, this is really something. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Tell everybody what happened.
So I normally bring my French Bulldog. He's had epilepsy since he was 3 days after he turned a year old. And I normally bring him to work with me. He is very severe with the epilepsy, and I didn't bring him to work with me on that day. So my camera had caught my boxer, who's only 16 months old, saving his life so he didn't aspirate. French Bulldogs with their smushed face, they aspirate so easily. And, I just wasn't looking at my phone. He had made it so long without a seizure since the past. And Reggie they're best friends. He jumped into action, and it was just amazing. I'm sorry to hesitate, but it was just the most amazing situation I could have ever seen.
Because in the video, you see.
What did Reggie do?
You see Reggie taking the boxer.
Yeah, he was rolling. Reggie, the boxer, was rolling Yogi the Frenchie around to help him clear his aspiration and get him to it just must be just animal instinct. I don't know, but it was just the craziest thing I've ever seen. And he was rolling him around to get him to cough up the phlegm and to not aspirate to death,
which is amazing.
And Reggie had never witnessed your other dog having a seizure before.
He had seen it one time prior. But since Yogi was so severe that, during 2020, I started the 3 days after his first birthday, and 2020, he was clustering for 2-3 days every 4 days, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Right. So he had been in the ICU for 16 nights. Because I could not stop it at home. And that is the goal, is to get to 6 weeks or 8 weeks at home and be able to control it, or seizure-free and be able to control it.
Okay, so now, so you put this video up on your, what?
Yeah, I never expected this.
On Instagram, or where'd you put it, TikTok?
I put it on Facebook.
Oh, on Facebook.
And one of my friends was like, can you make this public so we could share it? And I actually took like 3 days to post it because, I thought it was a little bit harsh to share with people. And a lot of my Facebook followers are very in tune to Yogi's adventure with his epilepsy. And
then how many views did you get?
I mean, we have millions upon millions.
Okay, and now
people are stopping me inside of Lowe's. They're like, "Is that the boxer?"
Okay, and then now you license it out to an agency.
I did. So I gave it to Storyful because I own my own restaurant, and I was like, "This is, I want to spread." Like, I'm not really concerned about ever making any money or anything on this, but I want to spread the awareness, and I was able to do that through Storyful.
Which is really amazing. And I mean, that you can have a video like this and then it goes viral and then you start making money by licensing, which you're not doing, obviously. You're doing it for the awareness. But Sarah, thanks so much for joining us and telling us your story. It's really something. Hey, stay right where you are. We have more of the show coming up. Hey, better hires start with smarter insights, and LinkedIn has the strongest hiring data and insights to help you identify the right candidates. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. Terms and conditions apply. I don't know if you've seen what's going on social media with men's eyelashes. Have you
Now,
heard about this?
You teased this earlier in the show, and I'm very curious.
There's a trend on TikTok, of course, where men are shaving off their eyelashes because they say that it makes them look more masculine.
How do you shave off an eyelash?
You just hold it up and then you shave it that way. Or you could probably take scissors and cut them. But eyelashes are important. Okay. They protect your eyeballs.
Sure.
They keep dust out, dirt, bacteria, even help your eyes from drying out. So you need your eyelashes, and let's not shave them off.
Are you saying don't do it?
Don't do it.
I got to see what a person looks like without eyelashes.
Yeah, look it up. Let me see. I want to see that too. David in Tucson, Arizona. Hi there, David.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you for all you've done for so long now and helping the community with all your great advice and your knowledge. I appreciate you.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say. Makes my day. How can I help you out today?
Well, ma'am, I'm a landlord, and I have had bad experiences with tenants destroying my property and costing me a lot of money. And I would like to know your advice on who to contact and who would be the best for doing background checks.
Give me an example. I mean, I can tell you I had a tenant once who I just put in new carpets, and they decided it would be a great idea to color their hair orange in the middle of the bedroom.
Yeah, you always do that on carpet.
Well, but why would you do that in the bathroom when you can do it on carpet, especially new carpet? Give us an example of like your worst case that you've run into.
I had a woman and her two daughters not pay me for 8 months, and then they knew eviction was coming, and so they stole the appliances. They put holes in all the drywall, and they broke every single door in half in the house and ripped up the linoleum, and essentially ran me about $30,000 in debt.
Wow.
Yeah, background checks are needed.
Yeah, we definitely need that.
That's awful.
That is awful.
And Kim, you know, it was in August of 23, and since then I've spoken to numerous people, including law enforcement, who have told me they see this all the time.
Do they? Wow. I wouldn't even think of doing anything. I mean, why would that you even think that would even be possible to see all the appliances?
I would feel so awful that I hadn't paid my rent for 8 months.
Well, you know, there's your first clue.
Yeah.
Right. And it makes it really hard to evict somebody, doesn't it?
Yes, it's very, very difficult to deal with people that are in that mental state. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, there are services out there made specifically for you, like Rent Prep is one of them. Another one's My Rental. There's also Avail.co. And that's where you get, probably cost you $50 per screen. Money well spent, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You need a signed consent from the tenant, you know that, and that's required by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I would use Rent Prep, and then in addition to that, I would also, are you taking applications online or in person?
In person.
Okay, good. All right, because I was going to say, if it's not happening in person, then you want to make sure they send you a pic of them of their face holding their driver's license right next to it, because that becomes, you know, it's pretty easy to fake a driver's license nowadays.
Oh, yeah, especially with ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. But you can also, you're going to pull a credit report, eviction history, criminal record, income verification. But I would just use that website, like I said, Rent Prep. It's actually a site that I used when up until recently, I was doing a lot of vacation rentals. And it was, you know, it's tough being a landlord. It's tough. I mean,
No way. I see on social media it's easy.
Oh,
money.
yeah.
You just sit back and let the money fly in.
well, these were in Maui. And I liked one guy who, he actually was in Tucson, Arizona, guy from Tucson. And he was an architect, as a matter of fact, in Tucson. And he called me and say, you know, the TV doesn't work in the living room. So I called the AV guy. He says, Kim, the TV works. He goes over and checks it out. Next day, TV doesn't work in the living room. AV guy goes over the next day. Charges me $75 every time he goes, by the way. TV works TV works. Okay. Third day, guy calls me up. TV doesn't work in the living room. And I said, listen, the TV worked the last 2 days. The TV works today. And I don't know what you're trying to do, but the TV works. And I call the AV guy. He says, you know what? I just happen to be in the area. I'll go check. Because he's nice. Calls me back. TV works. And he was disconnecting wires in the back on purpose so that this way he could contest the stay because he wanted to watch the basketball game and he couldn't do it because the TV didn't work.
You can get a full refund if your TV doesn't work?
Had another guy stayed at the house. Okay. Big storm comes on Maui. Okay. Little safety tip. When there's a storm on Maui, the beaches look like crap. And also, you don't want to go in the water because that's when the sharks come out. Because all the stuff comes down from the mountains. So he has a nice stay, I thought, and then he checks out and he says, you know, I'm going to contest the whole stay because I couldn't use the beach.
Yeah, it was all your fault, Kim.
Storm.
Why'd you do that? We all know you can control the weather.
I can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's not one. That's not one. Lori in Augusta, Georgia, glad to have you with us. Hi, Lori.
Hello. Thank you for letting me do a follow-up on my story that I called about, I think it was April of last year.
Oh, well, we got to refresh everybody's memory.
Okay. My cousin was John Umberger. He was in New York on business, and process of enjoying a night on the town, he was drugged, taken back to his condo, and robbed, gave him more drugs. And what they did was use the facial recognition on his phone to get access to his account.
Oh, I remember. Okay, I remember this. This was a horrible story.
It is horrible. But anyway, the first story the police gave was they think he might have taken the drugs because he was upset. His mother said no. So, long story short, she took her own little posse up there to New York City from Georgia. Her friends and family did their own investigation. And when she presented it to the detectives, they said, well, yeah, something more is going on. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. But they linked another murder to the same case. And to bring it around full circle, they apprehended 3 individuals. The trial was in February. One of them pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, got 20 years to life. 2 more had to go to trial. And this past May, they were found guilty, and they were sentenced for murder, robbery, conspiracy, burglary, and 2 of them were sentenced to 40 years in prison. Wow. At the time I called, you said that you hope they rot in jail, and darling, I think you got your wish.
Wow.
Me too.
Okay, so you brought your whole posse together, the terms you used, up to New York, and what exactly did they do?
That was not me. It was his mother and some friends. Mm-hmm. The police said they really didn't have much to go on, so what they were doing, they tracked down where his credit cards were used. They got videos, found more stuff like that. She went on several local news outlets, NBC and whatever, and said, you know, the police aren't doing their job. D.A. Bragg, you need to do something. Has this happened to anybody else? And then people literally started coming out of the woodwork. Yes, I was robbed. About a half dozen came forward, and unfortunately it was a young man named Julio who was robbed a month before that and found dead in the back of a taxi cab. So they were, I believe, tried for both murders.
Wow.
And that is so commendable for her. You know, a mother's grief, she turned it around. And thanks to that, she's got 3 killers off the street, more people being careful. And Alvin Bragg has been on TV advocating better security on devices, especially the third-party apps.
Wow. You know, you guys saved some lives, I bet.
I think so, and I'm so proud of my cousin Linda.
Yeah. Absolutely, they did. I mean, if they did it 6 times prior, they did it this time. They weren't going to stop. They kept getting away with it.
So the facial recognition cameras helped, because there are a lot of cameras in New York.
Well, true. Well, that helped too, but that's how he got robbed. Also, the facial recognition on the cell phone. His cell phone is how they got into his accounts. And the clincher was they actually made a video of him while he was dying, laughing at him and celebrating inside the condo. Is that not horrible?
Oh, gosh, that is
awful.
Wow.
But they won't do it again.
Wow. How did you guys know about that video? Was it on his phone?
Oh, yeah. When they finally caught the people responsible, they showed up on the videos, too, using the credit cards and all that. Police made the arrest and got their cell phones, and that's how the police found the video on one of the killer's phones.
Wow, that's awful.
What a great update, though.
But yes, I'm really glad that you called, Lori. And because I remember when you first started talking, I was like, you know what, I do remember talking to you about this, and it's so great to get the follow, because so often we hear these, we talk to you, we talk to other people, we don't get the backstory, we don't get the conclusion of what really happened. But that is really something, like you said, a mother's grief, pulling that posse together to make sure that they're gonna get those killers off the streets.
Get some justice.
Yeah, that is something. Lori, thanks for taking your time and giving us a call. Speaking about cybercrime, let's move on. It's not slowing down. It's actually getting worse. Hackers are smarter, sneakier, and they're after everything. I'm talking about your devices, your data, even your bank account. So how can you fight back? Well, one of the best defenses is solid antivirus software. It scans for malware, blocks suspicious websites, and stops hackers before they can do any damage. A healthy dose of thinking twice when opening emails and clicking links doesn't hurt either. I mean, you do need some common sense. But for the antivirus help you need, I trust and recommend Total AV. They update you in real time, keeping you protected from the latest threats. Go to protectwithkim.com right now and get Total AV for just $19 for the first year. It covers up to 5 devices, including Windows, Macs, and smartphones. And I don't want you to wait until it's too late. Your security matters. Get protected now. Go to protectwithkim.com for my exclusive deal with Total AV. That's protectwithkim.com. All right, let's talk about a security tip, because when you search on Google, you're going to see sponsored results at the top of the page. And, these ads are businesses, outfits, scammers who pay to get traffic. You'd think that they were trustworthy. They're not. And what about the terms you should never Google? Number 1, free credit report. While legitimate agencies like Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, Innovision, they ask for personal details, scammers make imposter sites so that this way they can commit fraud and identity theft. Another risky search, tech support numbers. Okay, they're going to set up fake contact numbers for companies like Amazon, Facebook, just to get you to give them sensitive information. Also, you never want to search for discount coupons. Scammers set up fake coupon sites to get you to provide your credit card details or download some type of malicious software. So you always want to keep that in mind. All right, still to come, we're going to talk about some really important safety warnings. If you have a pacemaker or a defib that you really need to pay attention to here on the Kim Komando Show. Here's something that a lot of people don't realize. It can take your brain up to 30 days to adjust to hearing better. And that's why at hear.com/Kim, you get a 45-day risk-free trial and a lifetime of support. Their high-tech Horizon IX hearing aids are known for delivering crystal clear sound while filtering out the background noise. And let me tell you, hearing aids today, it's not like they were in the past, not those big bulky things. You can hardly even see them. My husband and I were in the Bahamas, and he got, for some reason, a virus in his right ear, which means he can no longer hear out of his right ear. And let me tell you, I don't know how many times I would hear, "What'd you say? What'd you say?" Or, "Kim, where are you?" And I'd say, "Here." And he's like, "I don't know where here is." But now that he wears hearing aids, life is better. Go to hear.com/Kim. That's hear.com/Kim. Let's see, Shirley in Saginaw, Michigan. Hi there, Shirley.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for taking my call. I want to tell you I've been a longtime listener, and reading the Current in the morning is part of my meditation routine every morning.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
You're not going to believe this, but I was cleaning my desk within the last couple of weeks and going through a file, and here I found some newspaper clippings. You used to be in the newspaper. I don't know if there's newspapers anymore, but I don't get it.
Well, that was kind of how it all started. I started writing a column, and then then that just snowballed into radio and stuff like that.
Yes, and I mean, it's congratulations.
So what was the topic on the newspaper clippings?
You were talking about the different apps on phones, like Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. You were describing it for new people who were getting used to having a
groundbreaking stuff.
Yes, exactly. So
that's why the newsletter's only a 9 out of a 10.
Get out of here! Don't listen to him, Shirley.
you got to keep us up to date on things. That's all there is to it.
Well,
So,
back then that was up to date.
That was the
were.
big news.
You still are. You still are. Even with the reminder about the pacemakers and that kind of stuff. I need those reminders, if
Yeah, everybody does, because where else are you going to get this stuff? So, hey, listen, I don't want to run out of time with you. So what's going on?
I have a grandson who's been accepted to Michigan Tech, and he's majoring in aeronautical engineering. It's a new program, but
Wow.
maybe civil engineering. Yes, he's in the top 10 of his class, so he needs to show up with a computer for orientation, and there's special specifics that they needed. I am not very good at this kind of stuff, but we are going shopping, and he needs something that has a dedicated graphics card, GeForce. I don't know all this stuff, but I've, know that's some of the things that he needs. And
so now I understand that you've been raising this grandson since he was 4?
Pretty much. He and his brother, yes.
Wow. That's a big commitment.
It is, but you do the things that are right.
Well, and obviously you're doing okay, right? I mean,
I am.
You got him over at Michigan Tech, as I said. And he must be a smart kid. That's a tough program.
He is. He's a summa cum laude. So graduation is coming up, and This is what I told him I'd get him for graduation. That he deserves it. He was worked hard all his school years. So,
well, here's the deal. I'm going to send you off some links, okay, for some laptops for you to look at, because it gets too hard to kind of go through and go, oh, you want to get this Asus, blah, blah. You know what I mean? You're like,
hold on, let me find my pen.
Okay, I need that. Or you want to get a Dell XPS 15 or the Lenovo Legion 5 Pro or whatever it may be. So I appreciate you calling in. I also appreciate your kind words. That's so nice of you, Shirley. It makes me feel good. I wonder how many times she said, hey, Shirley. You remember that line from the airplane?
Shirley, you can't be serious.
Shirley, you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
And I think she probably heard it probably as many times as I've heard, do you go Komando?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's oh, I never heard that before. Oh, you're so funny. So I put you on, Shirley, and we're going to send you out some links, and congratulations on the graduation. And coming right back, some tech that can mess with your heart here on the Kim Komando Show. Over 41,000 businesses have future-proofed their business with NetSuite by Oracle. It's the #1 cloud ERP, bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all into one platform. Download the CFO's Guide to AI Machine Learning for free at netsuite.com/Kim. All right, Apple issued a warning that could affect your health, and it's not just about iPhones, it's also about AirPods and MacBooks. And if you're on Android, it affects you too. If you have a pacemaker or defibrillator, you want to keep all cell phones and Bluetooth devices at least 6 inches away from your chest because of the magnets inside these devices. And so 6 inches is good, 8 inches is even better, or even 12. Hey, don't forget to enter to win in our Paid For challenge. Go to winfromkim.com.